Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be on a Sunday night for this live and exclusive broadcast of Season 19 of Sunday Night Lights. We're here for round 7 at Spa here tonight. Fantastic track, very, very popular, and I can tell you there's been some drivers turn out for the skips this week, and tonight is no exception. We've got the top the top field for the week, which is very, very satisfying indeed for us and great platform for the guys to come and have a race. I'm your host, Alex McKellen. Joining me once again is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, big field, big numbers, big racing here tonight. What are you looking for here out on the track?
Well, honestly, Alex, it's going to be all about trying to make sure these guys can last to the end. We know Spa is a big track and it has a lot of really hard braking zones that adjoin long straights. Although one of them's got a couple of corners in it, it's still a fairly long, flat out section of track. Of course, we're talking about Miss Campbell Straight after you come out of a Rouge and Radalon, and also the big straight in the final sector there heading into the bus stop. Should be an interesting race, and I do believe we also have the biggest stop of the week. We only just pipped it, but it doesn't matter. We got it, Alex.
Absolutely. Tell you what, there's some people out on track, as I said. I've seen as many as 19 splits. I think I caught a vision of, I should say, earlier tonight. Tonight we have got the strongest field for sure, and geez, we've got some names in here: Edwards, Johansson, Smith, Miko Nassi. There's a name from the past. He's been streaming and racing here this week. What a gentleman he is, and what a whiz in a Skip Barber car as well. We've got Simonson, Lucetta, Rivera, Timu Vascalampi, Witten. The names just go on. Cantor, I spy in the field. Of course, we got Team Milo's Ben Snell joining us once again. The names just go on and on all throughout the field. And I'll tell you what, Corey, I'm expecting some action here tonight.
Oh, so am I, Alex, especially from the 18 car of Corey Preston, someone who we're used to seeing in a V8 supercar, mostly in Scops and in the V8 supercar strength of field Monday night races. But he's having a crack at the Skippy tonight. It'll be interesting to see what he can do here tonight. A little bit of a live wire there in the warm-up race. And, hopefully he can continue that on and be a little bit cleaner in this one, Alex.
Yeah, I've seen Corey do a few races in the skips in recent times. Car 18 tonight, just sneaking in ahead of Team Milo's Russell Clark and the stalwart of Skippy Racing, Mr. Kevin Henderson. He had a rough ride in the warm-up race tonight. He's car number 20, but I bet he'll be looking to get right in amongst it. Back up near the front of the field, though, you got Ben Smith from Evolution Racing Team. He has come back tonight. He had a week or two off. Of course, he won a couple of rounds early on and has done pretty well this season as he's coming by to round out his quality lap. Now, we only get one around here. SB's on top. Preston, number 2. What's Smith been able to do? Yeah, straight up to the top with a 2:48 dead. You might see, I tell you what, you won't see terribly many better times than that. That is sparkling in quality. The guys will only get one lap in, of course. But that time at the top of the stand, 2:48 dead. That's crazy fast around here, Corey.
Oh, you're exactly right there, Alex. I can't believe my eyes. He's 2 tenths clear of Marcelo Rivera sitting there in P2 with a 2:48.285, which is absolutely crazy. But I can see Luke Witten's still on track. He hasn't posted a time. I think he might have gotten an off track in his first
Corey,
lap.
sorry, 47.9. Simon Edwards jumping to the top of the timing tree. I don't think I've seen a 47 in quality this week. I watched a few. I haven't seen any, but Corey, I'll tell you what, it doesn't get any quicker than that.
I have no words, Alex. That is absolutely incredible. I mean, that's far beyond my wildest dreams for what a lap could be around here. I mean, in the warm-up race, we've seen 46s, but that was with draft assistance and maybe a cheeky little off-track here and there. But a 47.966 in qualifying, no draft assistance whatsoever. That is some mental speed, and hopefully Simon can have a much better race in this one than he did in the warm-up.
I'll tell you what, there's a few that have missed their quality times as well. Snell, Johansson, we're on board with Witten at the moment. I don't think he's going to set a time either. He's got 35 seconds left, and I don't think there's enough time as he comes down through No Name at the moment. He's not going to get another lap in. And so there's a few starting at the back there. Johansson's been very fast around here. Had a bumpy ride in the warm-up race, as did a few of them, but he'll be starting at the back. Just Jonk, he's already set his times. Luke Page. Great to see Luke Page back. I'll tell you what, there's another name, a blast from the past. Used to race Luke in the skips quite some time ago. Very competitive. Kind of a 16 here tonight and 15th after I'd suggest he had a bit of a bumpy ride. But that looks like the end of quali. Why don't we go and grab a look at our grid tonight, folks? Simon Edwards with a 47.9. That's outstanding from the UK&I driver. Benjamin Smith, Evolution Racing Team, not far behind him in P2 tonight. Marcelo Rivera in P3 for ANZ. Benny Simonson for UK&I in P4. Followed by Miko Nassi, Smith's Evolution Racing Team partner there in P5. Pablo Espez from R70 Team and Iberia there in P6. Enzo Cantor representing Thrustmaster Mivano in P7. P8 tonight, Timu Vascalampi. As I might just drop back so we don't have that engine noise. P9, first of the Team Milo drivers, Russell Clark. Great time for him for the 19-plated car. P10 tonight, Corey Preston from ANZ. Henderson, Kevin Henderson. Car number 20 in P11. John Scholz for Team Milo in P12, rounding out the front page. As we go to the next page, we've got Rod Pidnar from from ANZ, I should say, P13. Eust Jonk back again, starting from P14. Luke Page in P15 tonight. Dennis Johansson not setting a time in P16. Manu Lucetta similarly from Italy in P17. Luke Witten from Team Milo again, no time for him in P18. Caleb Hydes from ANZ in P19. And Ben Snell, Team Milo's own, P20 tonight. The last few drivers not setting any times, and we are about to get going. Top strength of the field of the week, 40.83. Not a bad one to kick us off tonight as the guys start getting ready. We might try and grab a better angle for the start. There we go. They're looking like they're gridded up nicely, and I might just grab where's Mr. Smith? There we go. Oh no, I want to get both of them in there. That's probably a little bit better. See the whole field now as the starter gives the drivers their orders. 9 laps here tonight. Red lights mean rev. Green lights mean go. Flag Marshal vigorously waving his green flag in the background there as the drivers, all 20 of them, stream down into the first corner here tonight at La Source. They seem to be getting through okay, 2 by 2. A couple of them, Johansson taking the wide line there to avoid any trouble as they run down to Rayon and Rouge for the first time round. We have a massive field here tonight, and they all seem to be getting it sorted. Rear the car, very sketchy in the early laps through here, as we all know, but jockeying for position they might be. 3 or 4 wide we're expecting here up the Kemmel Straight for the first time, and they're not disappointing. Look at that. They're jockeying for positions. Nassi getting forced to the driver's right up the inside there as they come into Lecombe for the first time. Oh, Smith gets a hurry up from the one-plated Edwards behind him. They're still going there. It's still 2 by 2. Oh, there's one on his lid. Bouncing off the back wall there. I think that might have been... No, Johansson's in the middle of it. It was Lucetta. He's gone for the night as they come down now. Excuse me. Through this tight right-hander on the way, run down to No Name Corey. I tell you what, not too bad as far as incidents goes, but there was a bit of action at the back there at the start, Corey.
Yeah, indeed, Alex, and that was one terrifying looking flip, the top of the car, including the cockpit area, hitting the tyre barriers. So we do hope that Manu Lucetta is feeling okay after what was quite an incredible tumble there. But at the moment, we got Betty Simonson leading the way here, Alex. Marcelo Rivera in P2 with Benjamin Smith sitting there in third. These guys know how to lead the pack and know how to control the field. We saw these guys in the practice race showing us how it is to run around here and do it well. And with Simon Edwards right behind them sitting in P4, Alex, should be an absolutely cracking race between these guys, especially as we start heading up to the next big drafting zone.
Yeah, well, we're heading up the back straight now on the approach to Blanchimont for the first time. Again, another massive draft zone here. And I'll tell you what, we've got drivers. This front pack is all the way down, can I tell you, to P16 before you get a decent gap and out of draft range. Oh, I'll tell you what, is that Massey running wide there through Blanchimont? He gets it wound up, or he gets it tidied up 2 by 2 into the final chicane. It looks tidy enough. Oh, Edwards getting to hurry up again. Oh, he's turned. He's been oh, there's a pile up and a half. Get back there. Oh, I'll tell you what, Edwards. Oh, we've got to go take another look at that, I think. I think we need to have another look.
Looks like Corey Preston and Luke Whitten both involved in that one as well, Alex, with a little bit of post-Edwards contact.
Yeah, you see Edwards get a little touch from the 15 car in the rear, Espes, and I think he just unsettled the rear of the car, and he's gone around after that, and he's had nowhere to go, the 15 car, Espes, and then everyone getting on the gas on the exit of the final chicane. Nassi goes around the 4 car. He dodges expertly. There's tyres and bits of Milo car everywhere. Can't even tell who that is. Oh, there's another one getting turned around. Oh, there's dead Milo cars everywhere in that. And the field has been somewhat decimated as a result. And we better get back to live pictures, I think, up the front. 3-car breakaway. Smith, Simonson, Rivera, they're away. Candace some 2.3 seconds behind and a bit of an island. And I tell you what, Nassi, he's done well to survive that. He hit the escape road out of that final chicane, Corey, but he's managing to lead what is a very angry pack trying to chase the leaders. I tell you what, though, with a gap such that it is, you're looking at about a 4-second gap to that lead pack. I think the 3 of them are going to run away with it, Corey.
Well, they very well could, Alex. They do have the pace, but this second pack that's sitting here behind Enzo, led by Nassi, is a very large draft pack indeed. So we could actually end up seeing these guys, especially if someone like Vascalampi or Ben Snell jumps on the front of it, try and work together and catch up to the leading 3 drivers and Enzo, and make this into another 10-car pack for the lead, Alex.
Potentially, as we jump back up the front now, you're right, Corey, but I think they will have their work cut out for them. The quality of Smith, Simonson and Rivera on front there, it is a tough mountain to climb. The first thing they got to do, though, is catch Cantor and P4. They've got a 1.2 second gap to bridge. I think if they're smart, they will get that. But I tell you what, smart in big packs, sometimes hard to find, as we see side by side through Blanchimont early, with Simonson going around the outside of Smith now as they approach the final chicane for the braking zone at the end of lap 2. Hopefully less eventful than last time around as we watch that second pack come in. Oh, they're trying not to go. Oh, we got another one around there. Henderson, was it? Oh, I'm trying to find who it was. I think it might have been Vascalampi. Yeah, I'm just trying to grab the pictures there. I tell you what, let's go and grab another look. Again, as we slow down in the braking zone, it's the 17 car behind Vascalampi. Oh, it's the pink car. I think it's Used Yonk coming in. And it's the 17 of John Scholz getting into the rear of Vascalampi. He will not feel good about that, John Scholz. That's not his go at all. Just a mistake on the run in there. Very easy to do. And that's turned Vascalampi around. We won't see him again in the action tonight, I wouldn't have thought, as we jump back up to live pictures up the front. Now, the final chicane proving to be where all the action is, perhaps not surprisingly, but I tell you what, Corey, I'm a bit surprised that it's been before the last lap, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. Usually we see everyone giving a lot of room and driving everyone fairly nicely, and then on the last laps when it all explodes. But apparently these guys just really wanted to treat us here tonight in the top split booth and just wanted to show us how much they desperately want to get a win at the world-famous Spa-Francorchamps track.
Yeah.
But at the moment, Benjamin Smith still leading the way here, Alex, over Simonson and Rivera.
Yeah, the ERT driver, he's got the bit between his teeth now, and Rivera holding on at the back in the 7 car. Smith Simonson, Rivera really looking to run away with this. They've now got just under a 3-second gap from Cantor running a lonely race, the Thrustmaster Movano driver, although quickly catching now the 13 car of Ben Snell with Miko Nassi, one of the all-time greats, tucked in behind. As I said, I saw Nassi on his stream during the week and struck by the humble nature of the man. He was lovely to talk to, and he can steer, this fella. He does it in real life. He has a coaching school as well, or a coaching company where he coaches real life drivers, and I'll tell you what, he doesn't hold back with sharing information, what he thinks about the car in such a humble way that it was great to see him back on track and joining us here tonight, and we appreciate him coming out for our little show here at Sunday Night Lights, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And he's definitely one of the most straight up and honest people you'll ever meet in a Skippy. And, we're the better for it to have him with us. And at the moment, Simonson taking back the lead from Smith as we head into the bus stop to end lap number 3, start lap number 4. Looks like these three are going to get through there all very nicely indeed. And the second group, which is now only 3 cars, has Cantor, Snell, and Nassi in it. So Snell leading the way for Team Milo right now, and hopefully he can get some better results. Although in the front of the pack, Alex, we just had the 5 car of Simonson going around. I'm not sure what happened. I just missed it. Seen him spinning in the bottom of my camera view there.
Let's grab a look on replay now as they come into La Source. Looks like Smith might have been into the rear of Simonson there in the braking zone. Yeah, just tagged him. And then ran wide, unintentional no doubt, just a small mistake but costly for those guys. And what it means now is Rivera's running away. He's skipped away now. He's got a 3-second gap, and now this monster pack has Cantor, Simonson, Nassi and Smith and Snell. I tell you what, I think this is where the action's going to be. It's 2x2 now into Les Combes. Again, in the mid-stage, early stages of lap 4 now. I tell you what, we've only got 9 laps, but they have been action-packed. You just don't know where. I tell you what, the turning and the incidents have happened, not where you would typically expect them at this stage of the race, but the boys have certainly got the elbows out tonight, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. I don't think I expected a crash at Les Combes, La Source. But, only on the first lap. That's the only time you'd really expect it, because everyone knows how to get into there properly. But, we'll just prove it just takes one small little lapse in concentration when you're racing this close and hard for things to go wrong. But I tell you what, Marcelo in the lead. He's going to be watching those mirrors like a hawk, Alex, because this second pack are going to be coming at him very quickly indeed.
Yeah, he's got a 2.6-second lead now. Simonson managing to range back in 3/10, but 3/10 a lap is not going to cut it. But I'll tell you what, Snell tucked right in behind. Simonson sporting a bit of rear wing damage, not surprisingly, after getting turned at the source there. The previous lap, you got Smith, Snell, and Simonson chasing down Rivera and chasing him down hard and fast. Back of that, you got Nassi and then Cantor, who has been gobbled up. He was in a little island of his own there, as we see Snell pull out to the outside through Blanchimont now, coming down into the final, into Blanchimont now, I beg your pardon. It was on the run into it. He runs a bit wide, as you might expect. Simonson's not going to make room for the Team Milo driver, and Simonson's into the wall. Oh, I tell you what, the stewards might want to have a look at that one. Simonson's got... Oh, he's been hit by the other 2 Milo cars. You've lost Witten. And I think it might have been Clark as well out of that. Might go and grab a quick replay of that little couple of moments. So it was around Blanchimont. You see Snell run wide, and Simonson's entitled to hold that. But, I tell you what, you might want to give a bit more room. Haven't given, I don't know. It's hard. He doesn't have to give that room. Snell probably has to run on the grass there. Simonson goes for a bit of a carnival ride there. Grabs the brakes, probably a bit late, and then he gets hit by not one, but does he get hit by the second one? But 2 Milo cars as a result. He's got the trifecta. contact with 3 Milo cars in the space of 20 seconds, a big effort. Wonder if there's a special prize for that then, Corey.
Well, I'm pretty sure Ovaltine could come up with a special prize for him there, Alex. But it looked like Russell was very lucky there. Only a small contact with him. So Russell should be all right to continue on without too much damage at all. But at the moment, going back up towards the front, Marcelo Riviera still leading the way. And that gap is coming down by quite a bit now, Alex, as we got Benjamin Smith leading the way from Nasi in the second pack. And looks like Snell has dropped down behind Enzo Cantor at the moment. And it looks like they might also be getting caught a little bit here from the 2 cars behind them in Henderson and Joink, Alex.
Henderson and Yonk are both just 4/10 behind, or Henderson's just 4/10 behind that second pack there. The 20 car tonight, Henderson trailing Snell now by 1.7 seconds, I should say, 1.8 now. Probably going to struggle to carry that pace through to join back up with this pack, although with all the action that's happened so far in this race, who knows. But yes, you're right, Smith now 2.5 seconds, under 2.5 seconds chasing down Rivera, but without a drafting partner. And these guys have shown that the drafting's been somewhat unsuccessful tonight anyway. He's going to struggle to bridge that gap. His last lap was a 2:47.2. He was 6/10 far, sorry, 2:52.1, which is not a very quick time around here. Rivera's last lap was a 2:48.5, 48.9 from Cantor in P3. They're not really looking like they're going to do any damage to that lead at this stage, Corey.
But in saying that, Alex, Ben Snell's last lap was a 2:47.9, which was right on par with Marcelo there. In fact, it was the fastest fastest time of that lap. So we're starting to see them come over the timing monitors again. It's a 2:48.3 for Marcelo that time and a 2:47.6 for Smith. These guys are definitely coming, Alex, and that's not a bad amount of time that they're gaining back on him.
Well, you're right. With that sort of gap, that's what's at 7/10 of a second. Yeah, with what's that, 3.8 laps to go now as they go through Eau Rouge for the start of lap 6. Yeah, they'll catch him at that rate. Down to 2 seconds now. If Cantor and Smith do the right thing and draft correctly, Nasi, the cool head behind, he knows how to race in these sort of situations as well. These guys work together. If they double draft here, oh, Nasi pulling out the inside. No, Cantor. Oh, that's not what you call how to bridge a gap, I don't think. He's defending now. Defending from Smith. That slowed them down. That's going to cost them. If you double draft there, you will bridge that gap. If you block it, well, it's not blocking, it's defending though. You're not going to. You really want to bridge that gap. You want to be fighting for P1, not P2 or P5, depending on where you sit in this pack. The boys have got to be smarter than that if they're going to bridge this gap again. They just lost 0.3 of a second out of that one move, and Rivera still now 2.1 seconds ahead of this pack, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex, but just remember, these guys only have to really get within that 1.2 second barrier so they can start getting the draft of Rivera, and hopefully they can start using that to bridge this gap between them and him. But as I said, they still got to look a little bit behind them, because even though Joink and Henderson are just back there a little bit, you know, just one small mistake by anyone up here in this 2nd to 5th place area, and those two are going to be right up in there and, you know, possibly battling it out for the podium positions that, you know, at the moment they don't deserve because they're that far back.
Well, they'll have to work hard if they do want it. At that point, they would deserve it, I guess. But at the moment, Smith leading this chasing pack from Rivera out in front. They've gained another 10th in this section now. They're going through up until this section, I should say. Cantor now on the tail of Smith as they head through Blanchimont again on the tail end of lap 6 now. 3 to go as they cross the line. This time, no drafting, and that again is going to hurt them. Cantor maybe not close enough to go by, maybe lifting instead, but you've got to draft a pass there. I mean, they only gained a 10th, but it probably would have been 2 or 3 had they drafted effectively there as they head down into La Source. Balance of 3 laps remaining this time round. You've got some smart heads in there. I think Smith and Nass in particular know how to race this place, and in general, Cantor, an old head in the skips as well, and Snell looks like he's playing the safe game now, sitting in behind, waiting for the last lap or so to make his move. Meanwhile, letting these quick guys try and bridge that gap. 1.8 seconds now to Rivera. The hounds are definitely chasing down the hare at the moment, Corey.
Well, Alex, this could be a carrot on a stick situation for these guys in this second pack. They can see that they're closing in on Rivera just a little bit here, but they're going 3 wide down the straight. And it looks like Enzo's finally made that move work, but we've got Nassi also trying to look on the outside. He pulls out of it though. And now Benjamin Smith looking very aggressive, trying to get a switchback on Enzo there. Didn't quite work out for him. But these guys will definitely be using Rivera as a carrot on a stick, so to speak. You know, put a carrot on a stick, put it in front of the horse, and away he goes. But Benjamin Smith wanting to lead the pack from the front, as we like to say here at Top Split. And he definitely does not want to have Enzo in front of him. I guess that might be a little bit of gun shyness after him accidentally taking out Simonson earlier, though, Alex.
Potentially, yeah. Smith really wanting to put his authority on leading through some of the more technical sections now as they go through Buon on the mid stages of lap 7. He did not want to be behind Enzo Cantor there. He wanted to be leading this front. He feels clearly that he has the faster car around here as they set up now for one of the most important corners here at turn 15. Coming up is the next right-hander now. Sets you up because you're flat. Once you're through here, third gear, little flick, clip the apex. Don't run too wide for fear of picking up the 1X there. Perfectly run through there by Smith. It sets you up for the long, straight, foot to the floor section down into Blanchimont, which is, again, it's flat here to the final chicane once you come out of turn 15 at Stavilo. And these guys know that that is a very important corner, and Smith really wanted to stamp his authority. Massey now, he is tucked right in behind Cantor. Expect him, with 2 laps remaining at the end of this one, to perhaps look to move forward. You got Cantor tucked right in behind Smith now into the final braking zone. Again, there was no draft to pass there. I would suspect that there was even lifting going on in that pack. Tell you what, they put a lot of faith in Smith out that back section, but then they all want to, Cantor in particular, wanting to lead through the twisty bits on the run down in the mid stages of the race. Really surprising tactics from these guys. 1.5 seconds now with 2 laps to go. Oh, do you resist the urge this lap to try and race for that position and still hoping to bridge that gap, Corey, or do you just put your head down and try and work together to bridge it?
Well, honestly, Alex, if I was in Enzo's shoes right now, I would try and go for the move this lap around again, because the draft that he's going to get off of Smith this time should be enough to just bridge that gap a little bit more and possibly get these guys within that draft range. As we see Enzo right on cue, going around the outside of Smith. Oh, very aggressively cutting his nose off as they continue along the straight. Smith, though, back up on his inside with that little bit of draft. And I think these guys are just about going to be onto the draft of Marcelo now, Alex, as we start heading into the final stages of this race. With only about a lap and 3/4 left to go.
Yeah, absolutely. 1.5 to go as they head down the hill. Now, I tell you what, Enzo's not making it easy there, is he? But now they are, that magic 1 to 1.1 seconds. If Smith gets a good, clean run through here, they will be on Rivera for the final lap. And we're going to have a 5-way battle, I should say, in this lead pack for the final stages. Rivera now, the hare. He's done all the hard work leading out this race. It's the peloton now catching him with every turn of the wheel as they head through Puon now. They're coming down the hill still. You've got that 1 second. It'll be on. I tell you what, it'll be on up the Kemmel straight into Lake Com at this rate. Let's see what they do this time. Will they play the smart game and sit behind, or will they look to battle it out into the final chicane on the penultimate lap, Corey? It's setting ourselves up for the big finale, that's for sure.
That's exactly right, Alex. I mean, we might have the grand finale before we even make it to the last lap, with Benjamin Smith now being right in the draft of Rivera there. And these guys are definitely not going to make it easy for each other, especially Smith can get up in there, Cantor. Oh, as I think Smith actually
Oh,
has
the
an
engine!
issue, Alex. The
How's he
engine is
done
gone.
that?
The Egg and Bakey award is back.
How on earth has that happened in the middle of the straight? Smith is gone. Cantor now 1.1 seconds behind. It was going to be on. I tell you what, Smith was no dramas in the draft there. Cantor now taking a direct line to the apex of the first part of the final chicane. He's now 9 tenths behind. He's going to have to work very hard. Tell you what, the Kettle Straight's very long, but will it be long enough? What sort of run will Cantor get out of La Source this time round? He's better get the best run of his life because he's just tickling on the edge of that draft. Will it be a 3 or 4 car wide battle into Lacombe this time round? Only time will tell. I tell you what, he's 9.5 tenths behind. That is just in draft, but is it enough, Corey?
Not sure it will be, Alex. It's definitely going to be a tall order for Enzo to get it along the Camel Straight. Maybe along the back section, though. Going through Blanchimont, will Enzo have the opportunity? But he's going to definitely try and make a run at it here. As you see them coming out of the little right-hander there that is beyond Eau Rouge and Radalon. Looks like
here they come. Nasty pulls to the inside. Inside. They're right on the tail now. Riding on board with Rivera. You see Nassi up the inside of Cantor as they go through the comms. This time round, it's Nassi making his move. I tell you what, this sets it up for the final chicane, though, doesn't it? Because 7 tenths behind now, you got Nassi. We're still riding on board with Rivera, looking back at this chasing pack now. And, they won't get it done, I don't think, in this stage. They're not close enough, but into the final chicane they most certainly will, as we hop on board now with Snell, who's in P4 at the moment for Team Milo. This is the view you want, folks. This is the best seat of the house where you will see the events into the final chicane unfold. We might come back to that one in a moment as they go through Pouhon for the final time this time round. Corey, who's your pick? It's all to play for. All the marbles on the table in the final chicane.
Well, I'm going for the dark horse in this one, Alex. Ben Snell. He's just in that perfect position for things to go wrong and him to skip away and take the win. But we never know what could happen. These guys could have a very clean run going through the final section here. I also have a theory on Smith. I reckon it might have been from that little bit of contact he had earlier with Simonson that maybe just cooked his engine. But that doesn't matter right now as we are in the final drafting zone, Alex. This is where everyone's going to be putting their chips on the table.
We're back on board with Snell now for Team Milo as we watch from the best seat in the house, as we said. Oh, I tell you what, Nassi taking a wide line there, perhaps defending and waiting to pick up the draft very strategically. Cuts back through Blanchimont there. Snell running right on the edge there. We see Rivera take the tight defensive line now. Oh, 3 wide, they've got to go. Cantor got to pull it up. No, he pulls right out of it. Nassi pulls it up, outbreaks himself a little bit. The over-under's on for Snell here. He's going to drive through it. It looks like Rivera, he's done it. Rivera's got it. It's going to be Rivera's race. Cantor, Nassi and Snell. They got it done at the end there, Corey. What a fantastic finish that was.
A very well raced race there, Alex, as my English starts to fail me. A great finish by those 4 drivers to not make contact with each other in the bus stop. And congratulations to Marcelo. Absolutely incredible race that he ran after, the lead just fell into his lap, Alex. Incredible fortune on his part, and he handled it absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, we're just going to take a look at that final chicane now from the perspective of the TV camera. Oh, I'll tell you what, Nassi moved to his left there. Enzo Cantor then looked to take advantage up the inside. I thought they were going to go 3 wide there for a moment, but Cantor showing a cool head there, the 11 car. Did not get in amongst it too heavily there, but I think he put Nassi off and not. Oh, look at the 7 car Rivera move a little bit right to left in the braking zone there. Not enough to unsettle anyone really. Nassi got his braking a touch wrong there, I think, but certainly made room for the 2 cars inside of him and actually quite smooth, but it really compromises his run through that final chicane, probably pushing him wide at the same time. No, he pulls it up beautifully as we see Rivera use all the track and more there. I'll tell you what, Nassi's shown some real skill there to pull that up very well, but it did cost him as Cantor came back through. Really skillful effort there in that final chicane from Canada, I have to say. Really unsettled the guys around it, made room without taking too much to cause his fellow drivers to have incidents. Just put them off their lines enough to come through and grab second. Didn't grab the win, but certainly put on a good show at the end there, I thought, Corey.
Yeah, indeed, Alex. And I just saw something quite hilarious. Corey Preston in the 18 car crossing the line on three wheels. I'm just having a look. And as they were heading into Lake Com, I can see we got Luke Witten in this battle pack with Corey Preston and Benjamin Smith. And these guys have actually had a bit of a bingle here on the last lap, Alex. I can see Witten's on the grass as they're heading into the braking zone. And Smith actually came across into Preston a little bit there, and that actually ended Smith's race. And Corey Preston on three wheels continued on and finished in uh, just 13th, just at one position out of the points there, Alex. So he limped around on the final lap, three quarters of the lap in that fact, on three wheels.
Yeah, I just got vision. In fact, it looks like he's got the tyre embedded as a spare under the front nose cone there. Just bring it around. I don't know if that's where it's meant to go. There you go. Just try and stick it back on while you're driving, mate. Oh, copped a bit of a bump there in the middle, and yeah, it's not a three-wheel or a two-wheel event. I think you need all of them to get home, but he's done all right in 13th anyway. So why don't we grab a look at our results? What was a remarkable race in the end. Marcello Rivera taking out his first win of Sunday Night Lights that I can remember, certainly for this season, and an ANZ boy on top. That's what we like to see, I think. P2 tonight went to Thrustmaster Movano's Enzo Cantor, who, all in all, I have to say, I thought raced a pretty patient race there to finish in P2 and played out a fairly decent strategy in the final chicane as well to secure that spot ahead of the finish driver of Miko Nassi for Evolution Racing Team. Fantastic to see Miko back, and I thought again he showed a really smart head throughout the race, top to tail, and very clean, very fast, and just pipped on the line in the end. P4. Leading Team Milo driver tonight, Mr. Ben Snell, who again, once he got clear in that final pack there, he played it pretty smart. Unfortunate incident between him and Simonson in the mid stage of the race, but still, that's what happens in racing sometimes, and Snell went on to secure a top 5 finish. Used Yonk, speaking of top 5 finishes, finishing in P5 tonight. Kevin Henderson, I think that's probably his best result for the season in P6, the 20-plated driver tonight. He'll be smiling about that result, I'm sure. ANZ's Caleb Hydes in P7 tonight. Great debut for Caleb. P8 tonight, after not setting a quali time, Johansson has risen 12 positions, only outdone by Snell with 16 positions. Johansson tonight finishing in P8. Luke Witten for Team Milo finishing in P9 tonight. Luke Page, welcome back to the series, Luke, in P10. Team Milo's Russell Clark in P11, once again on the front page tonight. R70 team Pablo Espes from Iberia rounding out the front page. As we go over, we see Corey Preston finishing on three wheels is better than none, I suppose, Corey, in P13. Rod Pidnar from ANZ in P14. The unluckiest Sunday Night Lights racer you'll ever see, Mr. Simon Edwards from UK&I in P15 tonight. Teemu Vaskalampi from Finland, similarly in P16. Manu Lucetta, after his adventures tonight from Italy, in P17. Benjamin Smith, Evolution Racing Team, not the race he was looking for here tonight, all the way down in P18. Benny Simonson, similarly from UK&I in P19. John Scholz, the final Team Milo driver, he did not have a smooth run, all the way down in P20. Strength of field tonight. Best of the week, in what a week it has been for Skippy participation. Proud to say we got the best of the week, just over 4K again. Ben Snell with a 2:46.8, draft assisted though. Fantastic to see Snell with the fastest lap as well, Corey. That was a race, that's for sure. It wasn't the race I was expecting, I have to say, but there was certainly plenty of action top to tail.
Exactly right, Alex. It was absolutely an incredible race to watch. And as I said, obviously they just wanted us to have excitement right from the get go, with definitely getting our hearts pumping with the way that they started the race. and continuing all the way through. It was absolutely incredible to watch, and all these drivers should actually be pretty proud, especially Corey Preston finishing on three wheels. The old saying, three wheels on my wagon, comes into mind when I saw it. But I think it's time for interviews, Alex. I know we got a couple of people eager to have a chat to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to find ourselves a point in the race that we can go to. I'll tell you what, we've got the Egg and Bacon Award for Hendo's blown engine tonight that went to Smith. Which was a stunning turn of events in my mind. But we'll have to think of perhaps a little red wagon award for those who finish in three wheels. But I don't know that we'll see that terribly often, if I'm honest, and it might be a one-time deal. But our first interview tonight, one person that we haven't spoken to in a little while, but I tell you what, I imagine he's got a grin on his face tonight, Mr. Enzo Cantor for Thrustmaster Mivano Racing. Welcome back, Enzo. Welcome back to the podium. Tell you what, there was some action out there tonight.
Wow. Hi, guys. Probably you saw me in the last 2 weeks, but I was not in my best comfortable way to drive. Today, I was almost in comfortable zone, but I did a too slow qualifying because I was searching to avoid any kind of track in the only one qualifying lap. So I preferred a slow lap, but more than a risky one, So I knew that many drivers could take too much risks in the qualifying. So it happened, and so I was seventh in the start. Then incredible race. I think I avoided the most number of disasters in my life. So I saw a car exploding in front of me, and every time I was able to avoid them every time. And well, finally, Marcelo was in front, and I was sure that Benjamin Smith would work together with me, Miko, and Ben Snell in order to keep to catch Marcelo as soon as possible. But I really didn't understand what Benjamin was trying to do because he was battling with me, and we were remaining only every lap at the same exactly gap to Marcelo because we was losing time in that way. So at 2 laps to go, I understood that I had to work together for me and for Benjamin. So I passed him after the Urush, and then I let him redraft again, leaving the throttle before the turn 2 in order to be nearer Marcelo. Then he broke his engine, and we were in the draft. And finally, today I was I was very calm, so I let Miko pass, and I was wishing in an incident between him and Marcelo in the last corner. Fortunately for them, it did not happen, and so my last chance was to crisscross the line in the bus stop. I did it. I finished second, and I was very, very happy today because I think it was impossible to imagine that before starting the race.
Yeah, I have to say, mate, that really cool head that you showed in that final chicane really played out well. I thought you did approach that chicane quite strategically, and really to come out with second place in that pack was a great effort. I got a very big surprise when Smith's engine blew. I've not seen that here this week on the straight in particular, particularly when you're on the front of a pack. But look, Enzo, congratulations. I thought in an eventful race, you've done particularly well to come out the way you did. It all came down to that final chicane in the end, as we have seen so many times this week at Spa, and you've come out with a fantastic result. So welcome back to the podium, Enzo. And anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Yes, I have a question for you. What are you expecting in that last chicane when we were three wide? So I want to to know were expecting in
Oh,
that
mate,
moment.
I was.
And the
Look,
crash.
yeah, no, I saw you. I saw you go in the middle there, and I thought, wow, there's two options. He's either going to stick the nose in there and make it three wide and roll the dice, but you chose to sit back. And what I saw was that affected Miko Nassi's line, right, and opened up the door for you, as you say, to take the tight exit out of the first part of the chicane and do the crisscross through the second. So I thought strategically, mate, that's what I saw, and I thought it played out well for you, mate.
Yes, you are right. Then I did that move only in order to distract and scare them. No,
Yeah.
so I was wishing in an instant because of that scary. But well, fortunately we finished it. We all on the podium. So congratulations to them because they did an incredible race, and to Ben Snell too because he started from without qualifying he gained the 16 positions today, so I think his fourth position is better than my second. Finally, yes, sure, I want to give a shout out to my team, as always, Mivano Racing, my team manager Fabio Mantellini, all my sponsors, Trasmaster and all the other ones, and finally to my teammate Manuel Lucchetta, my new teammate that today was very unlucky because he took an off track in his qualifying lap. I don't know what happened in the race, but yeah, if you start from the bottom of the grid, is always a roulette. So I will look at the race after the interview, and I will see what happened. So thanks you again for your work as always, and I wish to see you the next week.
Yeah, thanks, Enzo. Great to see you back, mate. And we do look forward to speaking with you and seeing you on track in the coming weeks. So thanks again, mate. We'll talk to you next time. There you go, Corey. That was Mr. Enzo Cantor. Always good for an interview is Enzo. And I'm looking at his cockpit there. Looks like he might have joined up on Twitch to have a bit of a stream as well. Enzo Genzo by the look. Maybe go check him out on Twitch. But nonetheless, you know, strategically, not a bad play in that final roll of the dice in the final chicane by the looks.
Well, as the old saying goes, back when I was learning how to drive skippies, slow in, fast out is how you're going to win and how you're going to, improve and get faster. And it just looks like Enzo in that final chicane just took that to heart and he went into it just a little bit slower than everyone else and came out just that little bit faster and ended up taking away that second place, which was, definitely the smart move of the race, Alex, one would have to say. And congratulations to Enzo. There is no sign of ring rust on this man. He's here and then he's not, and then he's back here again, and he just shows up and he runs quickly, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. He did a great job tonight, I thought. Another one who did a great job was Mr. Ben Snell. I tell you what, Snellivision is his name on Twitch, and he would have given the viewers a good show tonight, mate. Driving through the field, 16 positions all told. That must have put a smile on your dial, mate.
Oh yeah, put a smile on mine. I don't know about some of the other people I had some interactions with during the race. I was just having a chat to Dennis there, apologising about our first lap incident. A little bit of a netcode touch, but probably a little bit too aggressive on my behalf, using the draft trying to get as far up as I could. So and yeah, we had an unfortunate touch as well with Benny Simonson, and again I was very aggressive re-entering the track, but I felt that I'd been pushed off. And I died the previous race trying to go too wide through that corner, and the inside driver not leaving me any room. And of course, I come through that corner, drop tires off the edge of the track, and I see the car on my left on top of the ripple strip. So there definitely wasn't any room left for me on the circuit through the corner. So I felt there should have been some room left for me to rejoin. And of course, unfortunately, me putting Benny into the wall killed two of my teammates' races as well. So really unfortunate about that.
Yeah, I imagine there'll be some conversations in the Milo garage after that one. But yeah, look, I was watching. I watched it back on replay, and I was sitting there thinking of all the times that I thought, yeah, you don't have to make room. And then I thought, oh, but were you pushed wide? We didn't sort of catch that. Like I was umming and ahhing through it. But yeah, I can certainly take your perspective on that one. We didn't catch the incident with Johansson early on, but both of you have stormed through the field to some degree at least. And a lot of part of that's racing at the end of the day as well. And for you to come through and finish in P4 is a pretty big drive in the end of the day, mate.
Oh yeah, I definitely not displeased with the result. I was just hanging on the back of the pack, just saying as I'm driving, I'm like, man, I'm happy with the P5, and then obviously Ben blew his motor, which is unfortunate because he's been so strong this season. And so I was like, all right, P4, I'll take it. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to let these guys kill each other in the last chicane. And lo and behold, everybody made it through. So I'll still take a P4 any day of the week, starting from the back of the grid. I actually 0x'd my quality lap coming through La Source on the curb. So I literally gone, yeah, I'm good, I'm sweet. Turn the car in 0x. I'm like, oh my race is done. So for a P4, I definitely can't complain. I'm very happy.
No, absolutely. You seen an engine go that way? I haven't seen an engine go that way like Smith's did tonight. I couldn't imagine
The
it
only thing
happening.
I can think of was he was very, very aggressive in the draft. So when Enzo was drafting him along the Camel Straight, he'd get right back into the Enzo's gearbox and use the side drive to get past him. So I'm possibly thinking just overheating the engine in the draft. He's just cooked it, and it's really unfortunate. It's the only car I've seen pop a motor this week. So even Hendo hasn't managed to pop a motor. So if Hendo can't do it, it must be pretty hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, mate. Well, thanks for joining us once again. Anyone like to give a shout out to this week?
Of course, massive shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast, bringing out the cream of the crop, biggest strength of field of the week. We cracked 4K again, so great news for that. And big shout out to Milo. And of course, Russell does say hi. He doesn't want to come say hello personally, but I'm his little messenger boy.
Very good. Thanks, Ben, representing Team Milo well as always, and we'll grab you in the
Oh
next
yeah,
couple
well
of
by
weeks.
killing people, yeah, pretty much.
All right, mate. We'll talk to you in the coming weeks, mate.
Cheers, guys.
There you go. Team Milo's Ben Snell. He's driven through the field figuratively and somewhat literally at times tonight, but he's ended up with P4 and really solid result, Corey.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. It's a little bit of luck and a lot of bit of skill. And, he definitely, if we ever gave out a hard charger award, he definitely earned that tonight. A gain of 16 positions is crazy in any race, but doing it at Spa, where the off tracks are frequent and the action tonight was absolutely frenetic, it's just an incredible drive all round there by Ben Snell.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a new visitor to the Combox tonight, Mr. Dennis Johansson, driver 77 on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. One of the best Skippy streamers around and pretty handy behind the wheel as well. Dennis, welcome to the Top Split TV commentary booth. Didn't go so well
Thanks,
in
Alex.
quali and the race not so well either, mate.
Nah, I think it was the first qualifier I've screwed up this week pretty much. And starting in the back, you can expect a lot of weird stuff going on. But huge net code and not much to do about that really.
Yeah, that's right. Tough night out at the office, mate. I can see the rear wing in the replay at the moment. It's not looking too flash, and but certainly you've had some races around here this week. It's been a popular track. I tell you what, we've got to call them lockdown participation. I think the participation's been up. There's been a fair few races around here. You've been enjoying your racing, I hope.
Yeah, it's been good fun, but I'm kind of looking forward to go to Brands Heads next week, so we don't have all this. What should we say? Slower drivers being able to hang on to people who has practiced a bit more than them, maybe.
Yeah.
So we can try get a chance of getting rid of some of these drivers.
Yeah,
I should say.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the draft tracks like Spa certainly do tighten the racing up, closes the field up somewhat, and wipes out some of the skill disparity. But a far more technical track next week at Brands Hatch will sort of flatten that curve a bit, I think. But certainly one for the viewers tonight. Throughout the field, and your viewers at Race Driver 77 on Twitch, no doubt enjoying your racing throughout the week and in the coming weeks. But before we let you go, mate, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to on your first appearance in the Combox?
Nah, not much really. I'm on my own now, so of course, thanks to you guys, and thanks to all the people coming to the stream and watch me having a laugh in the races and trying to do well.
Beautiful.
Pretty
All right.
much.
Thanks for joining us, Dennis. We look forward to seeing you on the
No
track and
problem.
maybe for a chat after a nice podium finish in the coming weeks.
I will see you next Sunday for a win.
Beautiful. There you go, folks. That was Dennis Johansson. Great to see the great man himself in the combox. It's always fun with Dennis out on track. I tell you what, he races hard, he races well, and he just plays the cards and the race as he sees it. So really enjoy watching Dennis's races, and great to have him on board, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And it's great to have him finally come in for an interview. We've been waiting for him and waiting for him to jump into the Discord so we can have a chat to him. And now that he's finally here, it's just great. And Dennis is definitely one of the characters of the sport. And I'm so glad that we have someone who's fast and still knows how to speak their mind. A lot of people are a little bit PC these days, but not Dennis, and we're all the better for it.
Yeah, as long as he remains PG while he's in here with us, I'm all good with it. But yeah, folks, that might just about do us here for this week. I'll tell you, it was a really interesting race, fantastic finish to a crazy race throughout. It was not the race that I was expecting to see after having done some laps here myself and seen a lot of racing as well. I was expecting it to be very different, but I tell you what, it did not disappoint. But Corey, what have you got coming up in the week ahead of us?
Well, Alex, we still got a little bit of Daigle week to contend with tomorrow. Apart from that, we swapped to the new track of Dover next week over on the NASCAR side of things. So make sure you guys are watching the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator on Wednesday at about 11:30 Western Standard Time. That's +8 GMT. For Output Racing League from Dover. Should be an absolutely interesting race. It's got the 750 horsepower engines with the low downforce. So we should be seeing a little bit of sketchy racing there. Thursday night, ODSE this week is at USA. I said it that last week as well, but I didn't know that ODSE was actually on a break last week for mid-season. So that's my bad. And then, of course, we got Friday Night Race Club this week. And I think we are tackling the Legends 34 Coupe around the hallowed track of Bathurst this week, Alex.
Yeah, beautiful. Bit of fun there. Now, all the things Top Split are now on your screen where you can find us and all the different events during the week. This race will, of course, be uploaded onto the Top Split YouTube channel. Join us in the Discord like so many have tonight, which was great. We love talking to people after the race. And, of course, Corey's channel there. Corey Has No Life 13. Top Split TV is where you'll find us as always. I might do a couple of races and stream them during the week myself. But for now, folks, thank you for joining us once again. Massive week of Skippy Racing behind us now. Biggest race of the week here on Top Split TV once again. And don't we just love seeing that and love the drivers supporting us, supporting them. It's for the community, by the community, and that's how we roll. All right, folks, thank you for joining us here once again tonight. My name's Alex McKellar. On behalf of my commentary partner in crime, the chaotic one, Corey Steinhauser, I will say good night and ciao for now.